Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking through our most recent photo backdrop setup that we used on Easter Sunday and just try to give you some tips and tricks that you can use when setting up a photo booth for your church, like we so often do around the holidays, Mother's Day, other special times. So why do we, year after year, keep setting up these photo backdrops in our church lobbies? It's because it gives a great way for people just to congregate and have some community around a certain activity, and we provide them with the free professional picture, but most importantly is the social media engagement that you get afterwards. So let's break down this simple setup that we did for Easter. So the first tip that I would give you is just to find a nice open area where it's not going to cause a lot of congestion for people to kind of wait in line and get ready to be photographed for your photo booth. We had a volunteer use this camera right here, a Panasonic G7 with a 12 to 35 lens, and our main setup is comprised of just that white seamless backdrop. It's a Savage backdrop that we've had for years and years, and it's only got a little bit of life left on it. But this was a completely free setup for us this year. We just hung some little closet brackets up there on the wall and clamped it into place. We have some hardboard, like some masonite underneath there so that things don't, high heels don't pierce through it. Lighting wise, we have two Godox SL60Ws in these soft boxes. One is a nice photo softbox, and I don't remember what the smaller one is, but they both got the grids on them. And the goal there is to keep the light from spilling onto the backdrop, because we're using this old little Eurolight light board that has the ability now for us to change the colors depending on what people are wearing and just maybe what they want, which kind of provided for really nice pictures that were different. We did also have this small little GVM light just as a backlight to try and help separate people off of the background and to eliminate a little bit of that shine that's going to come off onto people's shoulders. Having little signs or props is nice as well. People like those because they can hide their stomachs with them, if I'm being really honest with you. So we had our photographers sit here in this chair so that way they could frame the shots nicely, have maybe parents sit on the bench with kids on their laps, or however people wanted to arrange it, it's fine. We could have maybe gotten a little fancier and had these lights mounted on something over on each side so they weren't in the picture, but we just cropped and did like waist up shots, and it turned out great. And having these soft boxes is great because tip number 2 is provide constant lighting. In the past, we've done setups where we had our professional flashes out here, and it becomes very dependent on your photographer being there at all times. What's neat about doing this is people can still use their cell phones. So we had some of our team that was just out here greeting people that would pop over here and take people's pictures with their cell phones for them. And having the constant light from these soft boxes still provided for beautiful cell phone pictures. Now, I do think part of the attraction that we built over the years is that we have a professional photographer. We've even had people ask, are we doing professional family photos at the Christmas thing? Because they were kind of relying on that for their Christmas card or whatever it may be. And so I try to make it as easy as possible as I can on our volunteer photographers. These are not usually the most skilled photographers we have, but with a setup like this, you can set all the settings and pretty much forget it, which means you can have a youth or someone else that's maybe proficient in framing a photograph, but maybe doesn't understand, the triangle of exposure or necessarily, or something like that. And so this booth didn't cost us a single thing this year. This was all stuff we already had on hand. But don't go crazy, make it simple, make it good. Lighting is the most important thing. And then providing just a nice clean backdrop with some props if you want to that, commemorate the event. One other thing we did was we had a sign over here with a QR code on it where people could scan that, put their emails in, and we are going to send them a link to the Smug Mug downloadable photos for people that signed up for that. And then also gets us guest information that came so we can follow up with them after Easter, which is another benefit of the photo booth. So we've done this so many times that my eventual goal is to make this wall something that can be transformed for each different event. Maybe have this whole wall right here just to be a wood wall that we can, add different things to change the flavor for each photo backdrop. But then we don't have to reset up everything every time. So maybe that's something you can think about if you have a space in your church where you can do something like this. So I hope these tips helped you out. Remember, we can do a lot of great things. Let's do it all for God's glory. We'll see you in the next one.